Hey, Cinephile Mike is here, and it is day 21 of Award Season Review, Season 3. 97 reviews coming to you in 97 days, covering many of the films contending for awards recognition this award season. Now, as you know, many of the films I'm talking about may still be in theaters or may be coming back to theaters. So, all of the box office, critical information, and awards information I'm giving to you is current within 7 days, roughly, of recording or posting. And most importantly, folks, these reviews, as always, are spoiler free. Also, make sure you check out my website, cinephilemike.com. If you want to check out that Where Can I Watch It 2024 edition spreadsheet, see and track all the nominations and wins for all the films vying for contention, and most importantly, be like, hey, how do I watch this? Let me check that guide. All your information is right there. So, we have reached the end of Doc Week, our third theme week. We have one more documentary to look at this week, vying for awards recognition. Now, some of the films that I've discussed this week have had some victories at varied Critics Circle awards or different uh, things that have already occurred, like the British Independent Film Awards, the Critics' Choice Documentary Awards, and the IDAs, etc. We know that they're all trying to hear that glorious Oscar bid come January, but all of these that we've watched, it's been a pretty strong week of 4 and 5 star films. And to wrap things up, I wanted to end on another inspirational note, as I did with yesterday's Superman documentary. And today I'm here to talk about Netflix's The Remarkable Life of Ibelin. Based on information that I could find, this film did have a small international theatrical release, but domestically, with its debut on Netflix, it did not post any domestic box office information. So, all the box office information I have is international, which also makes up the worldwide total. This film currently sits with a complete take of $1,303,564. Critically, this film is also well received. It is sitting with 56 critical reviews at a certified fresh score of 96% and culled from over 100 audience ratings. The film has a also certified fresh 98% score on the popcorn meter on Rotten Tomatoes. Award season wise, Benjamin Ree, the director of this film, won the directing award for World Cinema in documentaries at the Sundance Film Festival and received nominations for Best Documentary Feature from the International Documentary Association, as well as a nod for Best Original Music, a Best Documentary nod from the Astra Awards, and 5 nominations from the Critics' Choice Documentary Awards for Best Documentary Feature, Best Director, Best Editing, Best Score, and Best Biographical Documentary. So, what's this one about? Well, Ibelin is the subject of our documentary, but he's actually a young man named Matt Steen. Norwegian born, Mats was born with Duchenne muscular dystrophy. As a result, he could not engage in normal everyday activities and kind of found a love of gaming. And thanks to technology, this is what he was able to do to go through his day to day. Specifically, he developed a love for World of Warcraft. Now, in addition to spending what the documentary stated was approximately over 20,000 hours on the game, he also at one point started to blog about his life and his disease to share the message of what he was going through. As a result, he couldn't really find a closeness with his family and tended to separate himself from them. But he did find a life in the gaming world where he chose to not necessarily communicate with people orally, but through the text and the chat features. He never spoke to his family really about his gaming experience, and they never really knew what was going on, just that Matt spent a lot of time in the game. Now, unfortunately, at the age of 25, Matt passed away. And his family knew that he was active in the gaming community. So, given that they had left him the password to his blog and his accounts, they posted a message on the board stating what had happened to Matt. And all of this that happens is within the first 20 to 25 minutes of the documentary. So, this is not really a spoiler. This is just the overshoot of Matt and what happened to him. But it's after his father posts that first message that the documentary really begins. Almost instantly, Matt's father tells us within posting about Matt's passing on the page, blog page blew up, his email blew up with messages from the dozens and dozens of people who had interacted with Matt throughout his years on the game. And his family learned that, Matt truly did have a second life. as this character, Ibelin. And as we follow the rest of the documentary, we will see the impact the game had on Matt and the impact Matt had on others and the challenges he experienced. While not everything was roses and sunshine, both in his real life or even inside the game, we're able to glimpse into what his life was like. And it was through this information that was given to his parents by his fellow guild members that they really got to see what Matt's life was like. This documentary is quite a piece of cinema to behold because not only is it, this touching story told with the archival footage from Matt's life and talking head interviews with his family and the fellow guild members, but also how we get to see the second life. Instead of just hearing people talk about what it was, the filmmakers went into the film and into the history and working with Matt's friends and Matt's accounts, they culled all of the information from the chat rooms and all of the information they gleaned and created a film within a film where we don't hear about Ebelin's life, we actually get to see it reenacted in front of us in the animated film style of World of Warcraft. Animator Rasmus Tukia, who did not work on the game itself, but was enmeshed with it, knew the style of the game, and his animation work is truly stellar and really makes you feel like you're watching the World of Warcraft game play out in front of you. Every moment of both happiness and heartbreak is truly felt by the group of actors that are reading the different roles, including Ibelin and all of the friends that he meets. And as they mix this with other footage, it really paints a truly unique story about a young man who made more of an impact that anyone in his family knew and really left a legacy that will probably last much longer than the short 25 years that he lived on Earth. We even briefly in the documentary, have some footage that was done with permission at Matt's funeral. And when one of his guild members says, thank you for making a difference, you really feel this. This documentary is really a gorgeously created piece that's going to give you all of the feels. And because of the style that it's made, I truly believe it is worthy of one of the 5 Oscar nominations, just because when we look at what makes films, we look at the content, but we should also be looking at the film making. And because of all the mixed media that was really used and created to tell this story, do I think it could pull the win? Probably not, but the nomination, I think it's one of the strongest nominees that we have this season as far as a documentary film, made documentary film is. Look, all in all, The Remarkable Life of Ibelin is a 5-star film for me. It's a powerful documentary about the enduring force of the human spirit, our need for connection, something that we can't forget. If you would like to watch it, as I said, the film is streaming on Netflix. There's no theatrical information at this time. And this is, I think, a great, strong film to end Doc Week, our third week on. We're 21 films down with 76 to go. As always, if you like what you heard here today, please make sure you click that subscribe button. Send the video to someone, get them to subscribe to the channel. Spread the word. You can follow me, Cinephile Mike, on all social media platforms and on Letterboxd. You can find lots of great additional information on my website, on my social media pages. You can help chime in on what films I should talk about for Feel Good Week that are awards contenders. It's going to be great, and you don't want to miss out on any of the award season fun. But until next time, everyone, this is Cinephile Mike saying take a break and watch something new.